Today, we're counting down the top 10 ultra-rare state quarter dollars ever discovered, could be worth thousands to even millions of dollars, from shocking minting errors to elusive varieties collectors dream of. These coins are the true hidden treasures of modern America. So grab your change jar and stay tuned, you might just be holding. What if I told you that one of the very first state quarters ever struck the 1999 Connecticut state quarter dollar could be hiding a secret worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars? That's right. A coin that millions of people once spent on a cup of coffee could now pay for a car, a house, or even change your life forever. So before you spend that old Connecticut quarter jingling around in your pocket or coin jar, watch closely, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to tell if you're sitting on a rare and valuable treasure. The story of the 1999 Connecticut state quarter begins with one of the most important moments in modern American coinage, the launch of the U.S. Mint's 50 state quarters program. In 1999, the Mint kicked off an ambitious 10-year journey to honor each U.S. state with its own unique design. Connecticut's quarter was the last of the 5 released in that inaugural year, following Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Georgia. The design celebrated one of the state's most iconic symbols, the charter oak, a massive and historic tree that became a symbol of American freedom and resistance. Then there's the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar that normally holds its shape. This causes the quarter to spread out wider and flatter than normal, sometimes with a faint, distorted edge. A genuine broad strike Connecticut quarter can fetch anywhere from $200 to over $1,000, depending on condition and how dramatic the error looks, but that's just the beginning. Some of the most jaw-dropping Connecticut quarter errors are those struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal blank meant for another denomination or even another country. Imagine finding a Connecticut state quarter struck on a nickel planchet, a dime planchet, or even a foreign coin blank. These are incredibly rare, and examples have been known to sell for thousands of dollars, especially when authenticated by major grading services like PCGS or NGC. And speaking of grading, condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's true value. A normal 1999 Connecticut quarter from circulation might only be worth its face value 25 cents if it's worn or scratched. But if you find a mint state, MS, example, meaning it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you're looking at a coin that can command serious attention from collectors. High-grade examples with a full strike and lustrous finish can be valued at $500 to $300 even without major errors. Add a rare minting flaw or proof-like surface, and that number can soar into the thousands. One of the most famous Connecticut quarter varieties is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin was impressed more than once, slightly misaligned between strikes. This creates a doubled effect on parts of the design, often on the lettering, numbers, or fine details like the branches of the charter oak. If you ever spot doubling on Connecticut the charter OAK, or the date 1999, don't ignore it. Collectors pay a premium for clearly visible doubling, and a verified double die Connecticut quarter can bring $500, $1,000, or even more depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Collectors love certified examples from reputable grading companies. A PCGS MS67 or MS68 Connecticut quarter, especially with a visible error, can fetch $2,000, $5,000, or even $10,000 or more. The record sales for similar state quarters have gone far beyond that, especially when 2 or more rare features combine. One of those ordinary-looking quarters could actually be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's the astonishing truth about some of the rarest 2006 North Dakota state quarter dollar coins out there. Hidden among everyday coins are extraordinary minting errors and ultra-rare varieties that have shocked even the most experienced collectors. So stay with me until the end of this video, because what looks like a regular 25-cent coin could turn out to be a small fortune waiting to be discovered in your very own pocket. The story of the 2006 North Dakota state quarter dollar begins with one of the most beloved programs in U.S. coinage history, the 50 state quarters program. From 1999 to 2008, the United States Mint released a new quarter design every 10 weeks, celebrating each of the 50 states. By 2006, the program was already a massive success, with millions of Americans checking their pocket change every day, hoping to complete their state collections. That year, the mint released 5 new quarters: Nevada, Nebraska, Colorado, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Among these, the North Dakota design stood out for its simple beauty and its mysterious, valuable errors. Another incredible error variety for this coin is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet, the flat piece of metal that becomes the coin, isn't properly aligned between the dies during striking. The result is a coin with part of its design missing or misaligned, creating a dramatic visual effect. Collectors love these because no two are exactly alike. A mild off-center strike might bring $200 to $400, but if you find one that's 50% off-center and still shows the date and mint mark clearly, the value can easily exceed $2,000 or more. Then there's the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar that normally gives it its smooth, round edge. Without that collar, the metal expands outward, producing a larger, flatter coin. The details are often stretched, giving the coin a unique and unmistakable appearance. A genuine broad strike 2006D North Dakota quarter can fetch $500 to $1,000, especially if it's in mint state condition, but some of the rarest and most valuable 2006D North Dakota quarters are those struck on the wrong planchet. This happens when the wrong metal blank meant for a different denomination accidentally finds its way into the quarter press. For instance, a North Dakota quarter struck on a dime planchet, which is smaller and thinner, would result in a coin missing parts of its design and weighing less than normal. These wrong planchet errors are extremely rare, and collectors will pay huge sums for them. A confirmed example can easily reach $5,000 to $10,000, and if struck on a foreign coin blank or experimental planchet, it could go for tens of thousands of dollars. Now, here's where things get even more exciting. A few collectors have reported clad layer missing errors on their 2006D North Dakota quarters. U.S. quarters are made of a copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel, giving them their silver appearance. But sometimes, one of those outer layers fails to bond properly, leaving part of the coin's copper core exposed. This creates a two-tone effect: silver on one side, reddish copper on the other. Because of their striking look and rarity, these errors can sell for $400 to $1,500, depending on condition and how much of the clad layer is missing. Another incredible and visually striking error is the struck-through grease variety. This occurs when the coin dies become clogged with grease or debris during production, causing parts of the design to appear faint, blurry, or missing entirely. Some of the most famous examples show the bison's head or horns partially faded out, making them look ghostly or unfinished. Since every struck-through error is unique, values vary widely, but dramatic ones can bring $200 to $1,000 and sometimes much more if certified by PCGS or NGC. Yes, you heard that right. Some of the most ordinary-looking 1999D Georgia State $quarter coins have sold for astonishing amounts because of their incredible minting errors and rare varieties. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin, the humble Georgia quarter, could turn out to be one of the most valuable treasures in your pocket. So don't go anywhere, because the next few minutes might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. The story of the 1999D Georgia State quarter begins with a major turning point in U.S. coinage history: the start of the 50 State Quarters program. This program, launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999, was designed to honor each state with its own unique reverse design. It was one of the most successful coin series in American history, sparking a nationwide collecting craze and introducing millions of people to numismatics. That year, the Mint released the first 5 designs: Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. Each one celebrated the history and culture of its state, but the Georgia quarter would soon become famous for more than just its design. It would become known for its rare and valuable minting errors that turned simple pocket change into hidden gold. One of the most famous varieties is the wrong planchet error. This occurs when a coin is struck on a blank meant for a different denomination, like a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin. Imagine the Georgia design pressed onto a smaller or thinner blank. It looks bizarre, but that's exactly what happened to a few coins. Some of these wrong planchet Georgia quarters have sold for over $10,000, and in certain rare combinations, they could reach hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million, especially if the coin is unique. A verified example certified by PCGS or NGC can instantly become a collector's dream. Another highly sought-after error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly centered between the dies when struck. The result is a design that's shifted dramatically to one side, leaving part of the design missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin as long as the date and mint mark are still visible. A 1999 D Georgia quarter with a minor off-center strike might fetch $200 to $500, but if it's 40–60% off-center with clear details, collectors could pay $1,000 to $3,000 or more for it. Then we have the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar that shapes its edges. Without this collar, the coin expands outward, giving it a larger, flatter appearance. A 1999 D Georgia quarter with a dramatic broad strike can be worth anywhere from $300 to $1,000, and in pristine mint state condition, the price can go even higher. Even normal, well-struck Georgia quarters can hold impressive value in pristine condition. Because 1999 was the first year of the state quarters program, coins from this year are already historically significant. High-grade examples, especially those graded MS-68 or higher, are hard to find. A perfect MS-68 1999 D Georgia quarter can sell for $1,000 to $2,000, and if one were ever graded MS-69, the price could jump to $10,000 or more, given its rarity and collector demand. Some rare 2000p South Carolina state quarter-dollar coins. These coins might look ordinary at first glance, but a few of them contain incredible minting errors and varieties so rare that collectors have paid jaw-dropping amounts for them. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so valuable and how to tell if you're holding a rare treasure that could change your life. The 2000p South Carolina state quarter is part of the legendary 50 state quarters program, one of the most successful coin series ever created by the United States Mint. The program began in 1999 and ran through 2008, releasing 5 new designs every year to celebrate each state's history and heritage. The South Carolina quarter was the first to be released in the year 2000, making it an especially exciting piece for collectors. Let's start with one of the most famous and valuable types of minting mistakes: the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin receives 2 misaligned impressions from the hub, creating a doubled image on parts of the design. On the 2000p South Carolina quarter, doubling can appear on the lettering, like United States of America, E pluribus unum, or South Carolina, as well as on details of the palmetto tree or the Carolina wren. Strong doubling visible to the naked eye can make these coins worth anywhere from $500 to over $5,000, depending on the clarity and condition. Another thrilling and highly collectible type of error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank, known as a planchet, is not perfectly centered between the dies during striking. The result is a design that's shifted to one side, with part of the image or text missing. Minor off-center strikes might bring $100 to $300, but dramatic examples showing 40% or more of the design missing while still displaying the date and mint mark can fetch $1,000 to $3,000 or more. Next up is the broad strike error, which occurs when the collar that normally contains the metal during striking fails, allowing the coin to expand outward. Broad-struck coins are larger and flatter than normal, with distorted edges. A well-preserved 2000p South Carolina quarter with this error can be worth $300 to $1,000, and if it has other unique features or remains in mint state, collectors may pay even more. But one of the rarest and most valuable minting mistakes involves coins struck on the wrong planchet, meaning a blank meant for another denomination was accidentally used to strike the South Carolina design. For example, a quarter struck on a dime planchet will appear smaller, with missing parts of the design and a lighter weight. These wrong planchet errors are exceptionally rare and always in high demand. A 2000p South Carolina quarter struck on a dime or nickel planchet can sell for $5,000 to $10,000, while one struck on a foreign or experimental planchet could reach tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars at major auctions. Now, let's talk about the importance of condition. Even without errors, high-grade examples of the 2000p South Carolina quarter can be surprisingly valuable. The majority of coins entered circulation and show signs of wear, but a small number of pristine examples remain. A perfectly struck, uncirculated coin graded MS-68 or higher by PCGS or NGC can sell for $1,000 to $3,000, and a top-grade MS-69 could easily reach $5,000 to $10,000. Proof-like surfaces, sharp details, and brilliant luster add to the value even more. What if I told you that a small, ordinary-looking 2001 New York State $quarter sitting in your pocket could actually be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars? That's right, this coin, released over 2 decades ago, has become one of the most fascinating pieces in the entire State Quarter series. And hidden among the millions that were minted, there are rare and valuable error coins that can completely shock you with their worth. So grab your magnifying glass and stay tuned to the very end, because what you're about to discover could change the way you look at your loose change forever. The 2001 New York State $quarter was part of the immensely popular 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each design celebrated the rich history and identity of one of the 50 U.S. states, and New York's design was one of the most symbolic and emotionally powerful. Released on January 2, 2001, this was the first quarter of the new millennium to hit circulation, making it instantly special to collectors. Another type of valuable error seen on this coin is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during striking, resulting in a design that is shifted or partially missing. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. A minor 5 to 10% off-center error might bring $100 to $300, but a dramatic 50% off-center strike with the date and mint mark still visible could sell for $1,000 to $3,000 or even more. A fascinating and dramatic error that appears occasionally on these coins is the broad strike. This occurs when the collar that holds the planchet in place during minting fails, allowing the metal to spread outward. The result is a quarter that appears larger and slightly distorted. Broad-struck examples of the 2001 New York quarter can fetch anywhere from $300 to $1,000, and if combined with another error, the value can skyrocket. Then there are the wrong planchet errors, some of the most exciting and high-value mistakes in numismatics. This occurs when the New York State quarter design is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. For example, a quarter struck on a nickel or dime planchet will be smaller and lighter, with parts of the design missing. These are extremely rare and highly prized by collectors. Depending on the denomination and metal used, such errors can range in value from $5,000 to $25,000, and in some extremely rare cases, they've sold for over $100,000. Even among non-error coins, condition plays a major role in determining value. Most 2001 New York quarters circulated heavily, making high-grade examples rare. A perfectly preserved, uncirculated coin graded MS-68 or higher can fetch $1,000 to $3,000, and if a flawless MS-69 or proof-like example were discovered, it could command $5,000 to $10,000 or more.